Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about rep ranges and is there a magic number? So guys, I've been in the game and training for about a decade now, and I can tell you I've seen a lot of different fads, training trends, I guess just things that people think are better for building muscle. But the one thing that kind of has stuck around is this magic hypertrophy rep range. So people have been promoting for quite a long time now that low rep ranges are optimal for building strength. Moderate rep ranges in the realm of say 6 to 15 reps are ideal for building muscle, and anything above 15 is superior for strength endurance. But unfortunately, I've seen people take this to the extreme where they'll completely avoid doing any strength training, or they'll completely avoid doing any higher rep work because they truly believe that they're going to be missing out on all their gains if they step outside that range. Now, I do want to point out before I get started that the idea that lower rep ranges with heavier loads being superior for strength and that lighter weights for higher reps are superior for endurance have actually largely been validated. So you actually still can gain some strength if you use lighter weights at higher reps and if you use moderate weight at a moderate rep range. However, if your focus is truly to build strength, then it actually does make sense to train in that lower rep range if that's what your primary goal is. Now, on the flip side, you can still build some strength endurance when you train at a lower rep range with heavier weights, but you're going to actually get a much better outcome if you focus primarily on those higher rep ranges. So quickly, let's just define a couple of terms here. So when we're talking about low rep ranges or heavy loads, we're generally talking about a weight that is about 85% of your 1 rep max for under 6, maybe 5 reps. So moderate weight or moderate reps, or the hypertrophy training zone, this is considered somewhere between 60 to 85% of your 1 rep max for any rep range between 6 to 15 repetitions. And lastly, when we talk about light weights or high reps, we're talking about working or training at a percentage of say 60% or less of your 1 rep max for a rep range above 15. So how do we build muscle? In order for us to build muscle, we need mechanical tension and metabolic stress. Generally speaking, we need to have heavier loads in order to create mechanical tension. On the flip side, if we want to generate more metabolic stress, we train at lighter weights with higher reps. So in theory, it actually makes sense then for us to train at both of these rep ranges, since they both are able to stimulate or trigger muscle protein synthesis from a different perspective. So when we look at all the studies that I guess assess hypertrophy and whether we are comparing low rep ranges with moderate rep ranges or moderate rep ranges versus high rep ranges, the outcome or the finding of a lot of these studies actually shows very little difference between them. In fact, some currently say low, some will say moderate, and some will even say high, or it's even a tie between both or all 3 types of training rep ranges. So what does this actually mean? So the hypertrophy rep range that I mentioned before, which is somewhere between 6 and 15 reps, may actually produce slightly better results if we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things. However, on the whole, the advantages that we see from training in this hypertrophy rep range aren't nearly as great as we'd expect. So somewhere maybe around the realm of 10 to 15%. So you absolutely can grow an effective amount of muscle training in either the lower end of the rep range or perhaps the higher end of the rep range. But if we actually look at some of the studies that investigate investigate the mechanistics behind hypertrophy, it seems that different rep ranges actually signal or stimulate mTOR and muscle protein synthesis a little bit differently. I would probably say training in a wide variety of these rep ranges is better because now you have multiple different signaling stimuli kind of helping you to build rather than just a single stimuli. So I also think there's probably a degree of variability from individual to individual. Some people really may enjoy training at a lower rep range, while others may train higher rep ranges and get a lot out of it. So I think depending on the individual's preference, probably makes sense to stick at what you enjoy, what motivates you to get into the gym, but also know that having some degree of variability or flexibility within your training program is probably going to give you some added benefits. So here are some key points to consider when it comes to setting up your training. A program that allows you to get the most high quality sets in per session and per week is probably going to be key. Try to perform all of your exercises through the longest range of motion. Make sure that you do this while maintaining a safe form, and perhaps keep your reps somewhere between 2 to 3 reps shy of failure. If you're constantly training to failure, you're going to be putting a lot of stress on your central nervous system, and that might end up impacting your performance, not only after whatever exercise it was that you were doing, but also consequent days of training. So again, depending on the individual, you may like to kind of taper how much heavy load, heavy weights, low reps that you include in your training if you find that it significantly impacts your performance after you do those exercises and in the following training sessions. At the end of the day, guys, I don't think that there is anything magical about the hypertrophy rep range. What I do think is that being able to perform more harder training does end up leading to better training outcomes. And most people tend to be able to do more work when they are training in this hypertrophy rep range. So at the end of the day, guys, your goal should be to find a rep range for each individual lift that enables you to get the most high quality, hard work in. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you found this video useful, please give it a like. And if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go and check that out. If you have any comments, questions, please leave me a comment below, and we'll see you next time.